everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I have nothing on my face because I'm actually going to be testing, kind of an almost full face of first impressions. The only items I don't have are concealer, eyeliner and bronzer, so there's a lot of stuff to test. If you like videos like this, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos every Monday and Thursday. You can also follow me on Instagram, but this is probably going to be a very long video, so let's start testing new makeup. Okay, so I don't have a primer, but I have something that can be as a primer and fixing spray. So I was very curious to try the Avon Thermal Water. And this says it's good to calm sensitive skin, and I do have a bit of rosacea, so this will probably also be very nice to use in the summer to kind of refresh your face. So I'm going to give this a little bit of a shake and see. Yeah, it looks like a very fine mist. It doesn't have any smell, but for sensitive skin that's probably to be expected. And I will try to leave, as always, everything in the description box. So as a primer, it's probably more of a moisturizing primer. It leaves your skin wet and fresh. And for foundation, I actually have a BB cream, and I have a sample of the Garnier BB cream in the shade medium, and I'm not very sure how much coverage this will have, but then for powder I have a powder foundation, so that will probably compensate a little bit. And this one says it's got 1.5 milliliters. These things are always very hard to open, and I do have a scissor next to me, so I'm just doing the hardest thing. So to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to squeeze everything into a plastic container. It smells nice, and it kind of appears to have kind of a creamy consistency, but it's probably a little bit dark for me. Although this was a gift sample, so I can't really complain about that. Okay, and to put the BB cream on my face, I actually have another sample. I have a really tiny sample of the Beauty Blender. And then I also have some silicone sponges that came in the Makeup Revolution mystery bag. I'm going to try one, and then I'll put the other two in a giveaway for someone else to try. And I think I'm going to keep this turquoise one. It feels really weird. Okay, it does feel sort of squishy. I'm not sure if it's supposed to do that, but yeah, this is the size of it on my hand. Now I'm going to open this up, and this comes with a little water thing. I want to try it, but I'm afraid I'll make a little bit of a mess. Okay, so I broke the water thing. The water dropped on the sponge. Okay, and it does grow a little bit. It didn't absorb all of the water, so now this is the size that it looks like after it's wet. But I do need to take this to the sink because it's got still a little bit of water. Okay, so I'm back, and this is what the sponge looks like. And I have been re-watching Friends, and I feel like saying that, could this be any smaller? Yeah, I think that it's nice that they did a sample size, but come on, at least you could have made it like 3D or something. It's a flat sponge. But let's try it and see what we can make of it. Okay, so I'm going to try and do one half with one and one half with the other. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not sure which side I'm supposed to use. Let's give it a go. Definitely a little bit dark for me. And I feel like this kind of slides the product around, doesn't exactly blend it. I get a little bit more in here. But actually, to a sample size, that BB cream has enough amount and it does seem to have a medium coverage. But yeah, I'm not sure about a silicone sponge. I've never tried one before, but it does feel kind of weird to blend the product. I feel like it's kind of sitting on top of my skin. It doesn't look cakey, so that is good. I feel like I'm not going to need a lot of bronzer with this. Yeah, so this is one side with the BB cream and this is one side without. I am looking very bronzy. This is definitely too dark for me, but that is also a good thing because it was a sample size. Now, if I want to purchase it, I know I need to buy something a little bit lighter. But yeah, it does have a bit of a coverage. It's like a light to medium, and I have rosacea and that covered it not completely but a little bit. So now I'm going to try and use the tiny beauty blender on the other side. I still got a decent amount of product to use. Maybe I even shouldn't have used all of it in here. And yeah, this is really ridiculous to try. Okay, yeah, maybe for the under eye area, it could be good for concealer. But if I'm going to use this for my entire face, I'm gonna be here forever. So I'm just going to wet my velvet sponge. Okay, so I got my velvet sponge and I'm now going to do the rest of my face. Yeah, this feels a lot easier and it covers a much bigger area, but again, so bronzed. And I'm just going over the other side to kind of even it out. Okay, so I am looking kinda ridiculous because this is definitely too dark for me. But as far as the BB cream goes as a product and not as a shade, it does have a really nice coverage and it feels fresh on the skin. It feels very light. Up close, it doesn't look cakey. And as a sample size, I still got a little bit left, so you can probably stretch it for 2 uses. Now I just gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about the situation. Okay, so I don't have a new concealer. I'm going to use the Revolution Conceal and Define and see if I can solve this situation. If I can't, I'll just remove this and use my normal foundation, so I'll be right back. Well, actually, I think I'm going to film this because I got those sponges to try, but I'm going to try and brighten up a few areas, maybe a little bit all over, see if I can get a bit of a color match. So I'm going to try the silicone sponge. Yeah, I feel like this kind of moves the product around. It doesn't seem to be taking off the product, but I really don't like the feeling of the product sliding. Maybe that's just a personal preference, I don't know. But I think I'll stick to my usual sponge. Well, the concealer blended nicely and did lighten that up a little bit. Now I'm going to try the tiny beauty blender. This feels kinda hard even to just hold on. Yeah, that won't do it. Actually, this doesn't work too bad to kind of mix the foundation with the concealer. So looks like I always seem to find something positive to say about it. I'm gonna try put some concealer on the sponge. Yeah, that doesn't work very well, but I'm just going to put a little bit more of this on my face to try and make it a little bit more my shade. Okay, it doesn't look too bad. Just going on top of it with my velvet sponge to kind of press the product on my face. The BB cream seems to crease kind of easy on my lids at least. Okay, so for powder I have the Revolution Pro Powder Foundation and I bought mine in the shade F8. So just going to press that. And for this summer I usually really like to use only concealer on my under eyes or a few spots and then set all of my face with powder foundation. It's a really nice kind of light coverage and it also feels very light on your skin. Okay, so this is probably a little bit more closer to my normal shade. It seems to be lightening up that a little bit, or maybe it's because I was seeing me very dark. I think I'm gonna need some bronzer on my neck. And yeah, my face, at least on the screen that I have here, is looking a little bit weird. Now my face still feels a little bit tacky. Just going to try and use a little bit more. You also get a little sponge on the container. And this really seems to be adding more coverage. Okay, so thoughts for now. I will definitely need to try this powder foundation on its own. This is probably a good texture, the Beauty Blender, but come on, this is definitely not a sample size. This is a joke size. And the silicone sponge, I think it's not for me. I don't think it's bad, it's just I have other sponges that I prefer against this. For the BB cream, I liked it. It's got a really nice coverage for a BB cream, but I need to get it on my shade. Okay, so for bronzer, I'm just using this one as a mirror. This is the Kiko Gold Waves bronzer, and I'm just going to use this like I need any more bronzer. But actually, that powder foundation got my shade a little bit closer to normal. Definitely need bronzer on my neck. Okay, I feel like this BB cream definitely needs a stronger powder because it's already starting to crease on this smile line. And this doesn't apply too bad with the sponge that it comes with. I actually really like to use powder foundation for touch-ups. If you lose kind of any coverage around the nose or something like that, it's nice. Now for blush, I have something ridiculously expensive, but I didn't buy it. This, one of the lovely ladies my mom works with gave it to her and my mom gave it to me. And this is a Chanel blush. Now, I'm not sure if I can pronounce this, but I think it's the Jouer Contraste in the shade 440 Quintessence. So this is what the packaging looks like. You get a little brush and a mirror. And this smells like baby powder. Now let me try and swatch this. It feels very, very creamy. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's kind of a peachy color. This is really my type of shade. Not my type of price range really, but I really wanted to try it and it was a gift, so I'm not going to use the brush that it comes with. I'm going to use my usual blush brush. A really beautiful color. And I feel like once applied, it doesn't seem to have a lot of scent. The mirror is decent. And yeah, it's buildable, which I really appreciate with blush. It blended really well, and actually I'm kind of pissed because I really didn't want to like this. I mean, my channel is mostly about affordable makeup. This is definitely not affordable. I think this is around 40 euros. And I mean, 40 euros for a blush, that's a lot. But it looks really good. If you'd like to see me do a video only on this, like comparing it to some other really cheap blush, then let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I think it looks really nice. And for highlighter, I got two to try. I have the Revolution Reloaded highlighter in the shade Just My Type. And then I also have the W7 Glow Commotion highlighter. And this one is supposed to be a dupe for the Mary Luminizer. Okay, so I'm going to swatch both of them. Ooh, this is the Revolution Reloaded. It's got a lot of pigment. Okay, so this one is the Reloaded highlighter. Wow, that's got a really beautiful shimmer. And now I'm going to swatch the Glow Commotion. It's definitely a little bit darker. is more of a gold and the other one is more of a champagne. And it doesn't look as much metallic as the other one, so this one is the Revolution and this one is the Locomotion. Okay, so I think I'm going to do one side with each. I'm gonna try first the Revolution Reloaded on this side. This is more of a champagne color. Ooh, and it's really, really pigmented. I really like that. It's a really pigmented highlighter and I really love this kind of champagne colors. I think it goes well with everything. Now I'm just gonna clean my brush a little bit and I'm going to try the Locomotion on this side. It does look a little bit more powdery. Ooh, and it's very, very gold. It can also be really pigmented too, so yeah. Maybe too much. Said no one ever, but yeah. Just going on top of it with my powder brush. Yeah, but it's got a really beautiful glow. And I also really like this kind of gold highlighter color. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to use a little bit of that on my nose and Cupid's bow. I really, really love both of them. I think they're really pigmented and nice. Yeah, I think I got two really great highlighters. Okay, next I got a brow product. And this is the L'Oreal Unbeliever Brow. And I bought it in the shade Ebony. So this comes with a brush and the tube of product. So this says you're supposed to apply lightly the product with the doe foot, I think. Yeah, it really looks like a lip gloss. So you're supposed to apply a little bit, use the angled side of the brush to define, and then use the spoolie. So I'm gonna try and do this brow. Okay, so it smells a little bit of alcohol, and on the tube it says brow gel. Just really applying it lightly as it says. Color seems to be a good match for me. It's a very dark brown. So I'm going to see it like that, and now I'm gonna try and use the brush. I actually really like the way this is looking. Although I am not very good at filling in my brows, but yeah. This feels like almost a mix between a brow gel, but like a pomade that you can fill in. Actually, I need to trim my brows a little bit. But now I'm going to use the spoolie. I usually brush them up. Yeah, I really like the way this looks. I mean, just gonna try and catch a tiny little bit on the brush to put here. I actually bought this because my Essence Make Me Brown is almost finished, but yeah, I mean, look at that difference. I really love the way this looks. Of course, this one probably has a little bit of powder and BB cream on top of it, but I really love the way this looks. And this says it's supposed to last around 2 days, and it's supposed to be a 90-second application. Okay, so I am going to do the other brow in a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, so these are both my eyebrows done and I really love the way they're looking. And for eyeshadow, I've just cleaned the creases on my lids and I got the I Heart Revolution Mermaid's Heart palette. That looks like this. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this color on my crease. And I mean, more like a transition. This one looks a little bit powdery on the palette. Okay, now I'm going to deepen up a little bit of my crease with this darker yellow. Okay, so they are a little bit powdery, but they do have a nice pigmentation. And this palette doesn't have a mirror. This one was also on the Revolution mystery bag that I got. I will leave the video up on the cards if you haven't seen it. Okay, so that yellow is showing up really nice. And I think I want to try blue. Yeah, I'm really gonna risk it and I'm going to try this blue right here. Kinda more towards my outer corner. That mixing with the yellow is obviously making it a little bit green. That's the theory of the colors. If you mix blue and yellow, you get green. That's not the eyeshadow fault. Try adding a little bit of this one that is more blue. Yeah, I feel like that helps a little bit. If you want to see a blue, really blue eyeshadow tutorial, go check out my previous video. And now I think I'm going to use my finger on this kind of champagne color. Use this as a lid color. Oh wow, that is super pigmented. That is a lot pigmented. I actually think I can use the rest on this lid. Yeah, because that's a lot of pigment. Just gonna see if I can blend that a little bit better and bring it a little bit to the inner corner. Getting a little bit of fallout. I definitely need to clean up my makeup brushes. Yeah, but I mean, that is super pigmented. Okay, close to my outer corner, I want to see if I can darken it a little bit using this last shade. This looks like a deep dark green, but I think that's kind of the effect I wanted. First I thought I would go for something a little bit more turquoise, but it turns out it wants to be green, so let it be green. I'm just going to blend a little bit on top of that with the bright yellow. Gonna blend the edge. Yeah, I think that looks good. Now on my lower lash line, I'm just going to use this one close to my lashes, and then I'm going to blend it with the yellow. Okay, so you kind of need to be careful with those blues because it does have a little bit of fallout. I'm just adding a little bit more of that champagne color to the inner corner and my brow bone. Okay, so that was the eyeshadow palette. I really liked it. Now, I also have the Beauty Glazed Pressed Glitter palette that's got these 4 glitters. And I think I'm going to try and see on my finger how this lighter one looks like. And tap just a little bit. Not very used to using glitter, but yeah, I think it looks nice on top of that. Yeah, I think that looks really nice. I don't want to add too much because I really don't want to ruin the look. But yeah, I think this is cool. Didn't have much fallout. And I do still have a little bit on my finger. I guess you don't need much. I'm not very sure about this darker color. This one looks really good, and these two can also be really nice glitters to add to a look. Yeah, but I am pretty happy with how this looks. And now, I don't have any new eyeliner to try. Just gonna use a little bit of my Kiko Everlasting Kajal on my waterline. And now I got a new mascara to try. Now, this is the waterproof version of one of my current favorites. This is the L'Oreal Paradise Static Waterproof. And my current waterproof mascara is almost finished. And I don't usually wear waterproof mascara on the daily basis, but for example, if I go to the gym and I want to have mascara, it's nice to be waterproof. And then also if I'm going to things like wedding or something like that I'm probably going to cry, it's also good to have a waterproof mascara. So I'm going to try this. Okay, so the wand looks exactly like the normal Paradise Ecstatic. And I usually don't need to curl my lashes. The normal Paradise Ecstatic, I think it reaches like the full potential after it's been open for like a week or so, but this seems to be very similar to that. It's giving it volume. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is one side with the mascara and this side has nothing. And look at those lashes. This is a really great mascara. I think it's really just as good as the normal version. Okay, so these are the eyelashes with the mascara. It's really beautiful. My previous waterproof mascara was the Kiko Extra Sculpt. Now, this is also a really good volumizing mascara, but I'm not a big fan of the wand on that, so I think I'll completely exchange it for this one. It looks really just as good as the normal Paradise Ecstatic. Okay, so finally I have to test for my lips the Revolution Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Chauffeur. I really like the color. Can't really talk while doing this. Okay, so I think I might have overlined them a little bit, especially on this side, but that's fine. I really love the color. It's sort of a peachy nude. The doe foot is very simple. And okay, so I'm just gonna let the lipstick dry a little bit. Then I'm going to use again the thermal water. Okay, so I have already applied the thermal water. You can actually use it as a continuous mist. And the lipstick, I think it's dried. And it is transfer proof, so that is very good. It looks comfortable on the lips. It doesn't seem to be drying a lot, although just a little bit. But it still feels comfortable. And yeah, overall, I am happy with the way the makeup turned out. Of course, the BB cream was not exactly my shade, and I did have to apply a little bit of concealer and powder foundation on top of it to make it look better, and that might have made it just a little bit cakey, but I still think it looks nice. Okay, so things that I didn't like very much. Both of the sponges didn't impress me. The powder foundation, I still need to try it better. But those were mainly the things that I didn't really like very much. The blush applied really well and it's very expensive. And the things that I really loved: the mascara, the Unbeliever Brow, both of the highlighters, and the liquid lipstick. So the other things were good, didn't impress me too much, but I still really like them. And yeah, I guess that is everything for this video. This is probably going to be really long, but I'm so sorry. Yeah, if you liked this video and if you want more videos like that, then don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That would help me a lot. You'll have new videos every Monday and Thursday, but for this video, that is everything. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!